Hey, I'm Mel from Sleepless, and this is my friend Ben Says Love's Not Real, off of Let's Just Be Friends. If love's not real, I'm gonna be pissed. Cause I'd be just another impossible thing. I need to exist to justify my isolation. I say one thing a lot. I say I'm better off alone, even though I know I'm not. You remind me that feelings like this exist. Cocktail of joy and anxiety mix. Alone in love, alone in life. Why do I have to be alone every goddamn night? Sitting in the dark to pass my days. At night, I light a candle to give the world some shape. I hope I'm not letting you down. Why do I think shit like that when you're around? You remind me that feelings like this exist. Cocktail of joy and anxieties mix. Alone in love, alone in life. Why do I have to be alone every goddamn night? Thanks.
All right, cool. We're back. So let's talk about the song or the record or anything else you'd like to sell me.
We have these really cool shirts coming out.
Oh yeah,
Nice.
They have like they're
I'm pretty
pink.
sure I already have a sleepless shirt and a sleepless pin.
That's true.
So.
We have a pink one that has like our name on like a navy blue with like our type font that we're gonna stick
Oh,
with.
okay. That's actually a
the
really cool
scissors.
like merch design. Can we talk about that really quick? Ward hasn't seen it,
No, I haven't.
but
So
I don't
it's
think.
it's a pastel pink shirt with like slightly darker blue. Like
Is it already online?
it like well like you
they
can see
posted
the
a
design.
picture of it online.
I've seen
yeah.
it.
There's okay.
It
yeah.
looks sick.
But
It's
like
got
it's
two scissors
innovative
framing the
'cause
name.
It has the
Well, like it came from like when we first started playing shows, it was hot as balls in Florida, and like David's house, you know, he
The bug house.
cranked the
The
AC,
bug house,
but
yeah.
like when there's like 30 or whatever people packed into like a kitchen and a living room, it gets hot, and so I
Yeah,
just
yeah.
started wearing crop tops to shows, and that's how I would make them. Is I would just lay them on the ground and cut them across a certain line that I made, and so I just thought like, you know, people like love crop tops. Like in Florida, it's hot all the time. Like why not just like make one for,
I love
like,
that. I
people
love
to
that
have.
it's a shirt, but you can make it a crop top because like we came out with crop tops, but like we were nervous about it because not everybody, even people who are like pro body positivity, aren't comfortable with their
Yeah.
bodies. So it's like people are still kind of on the line about it, but like the having the option and
Mhm.
having the clear line that says like, you know, here is the option for you. I thought that was a cool merch idea.
There's that, and then Chandler actually is getting a little like infographic card where like on one side is going to be our social media and like our Spotify and everything, and on the other side it's going to be like things you can do with the bottom half once you cut it off.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Nice.
So that you're not just like cutting off a shirt and then like
And
throwing away
sure,
the other part.
I've definitely
Just not wasted fabric.
run into
Yeah.
that where I'm like, what do I do with this? I always just keep it to make patches.
I make headbands out of them.
There you go. That was my
Alright.
first thought.
But
So let's talk about the record a little bit.
yeah.
Let's Just Be Friends is the title.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
It's the title stems from like when I got out of my last relationship, like my last like really serious relationship, I sort of gave up on like trying to be monogamous and stuff. It's just not something that works for me. Obviously, like I respect whatever you choose to do,
Yeah, yeah.
like with your romantic life, like that's, you know. But like for me, I just was not into. I couldn't do it. And when I was first sort of like beginning to live like the lifestyle of being non-monogamous, I found that "Let's Just Be Friends," the phrase itself, was something that I had to use a bit more often than I would have ever thought I had to, because, you know, like I'm non-monogamous, but obviously I don't like, it's something that's becoming a bit more prevalent, but it's still not something that's like ubiquitous by any means. Like
Right,
most
yeah,
people
yeah.
are still monogamous, and so like there would be a lot of people who I would talk to, not like a lot, like, I mean, I say like 3 or 4, but like, you know, like I would end up having to say that to them because like they would want to be in a monogamous relationship with me, and I didn't want to hurt them, and like I was clear about like how I was, and they would be like, oh, like, you know, maybe I could try that and stuff like that, but like there were times where just like it wasn't going to work for them, and I was just like, let's just
So
be
I mean,
friends.
clearly the title of the song being "My Friend Ben Says Love Is Not Real" has to have some sort of relationship to that. Like,
Sort of, yeah. It
It-
actually
does the record explore that, or is it like just
the record explores, I mean, like one thing I say about our songs is that like anxiety is always the meat, but there's different like there's different seasonings and garnishes that go on top of it.
that's
Mhm.
that's a good descriptor.
I like that.
Anxiety is like, I like when I was at the job before this one, and I was still with my ex, I thought I was having like a heart attack like at my work, and like I was freaking out, and I went to the hospital, and they're like not mad about it because it happens actually kind of frequently, but like I was just having a panic attack, like a really major panic attack. And that coupled with the fact that like on my dad's side of the family we have like hypertension like is dangerous. So
Mhm.
like that creates more anxiety about it for me. So I'm just constantly living in a state of just like being anxious about every single thing that's happening around me. So like you take a song like "My Friend Ben Says Love's Not Real" is about a conversation I was having with Ben and Aaron about like that specifically, like Ben saying that, and like me being
Aaron
terrified.
from DS Photography.
Yes.
Okay.
Aaron's a fantastic photographer. I'll tell you what. Has a pretty solid taste in anime. That's not really important. So, like they were having that conversation. We were like at a Steak and Shake, and it just made me anxious because like love is like super important to me. Like, and
Including being in non-monogamous
Yeah.
relationships, still being like
loved
feeling love.
and like
Yeah.
and having
Mhm.
that is still like an amazing feeling. And like for like there are times where I do like kind of get scared that it could be true, but I just hope it's not. And so that song's sort of about that, and it's about
Okay, so it's a hopeful song.
kind of, yeah. I mean, like part of the, so it's partly written about how like I feel about that, but then also partly written about at that time I was in the beginning of talking to someone who I was like seeing for a little while and stuff, and I was like sort of feeling hopeful but like just still terrified. Ember is sort of a similar like tone, but that song's much more about like having like a big crush on someone and also being terrified of that like just not going well, and so like not even wanted to start it really almost at all because like you just know it's not going to go well anyway.
Been there. I wrote a song about that too.
Sounds like a hope and anxiety, like tug of war.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then I have a song like like Play No Contest and Soft Tissue are sort of about the same things. Kind of. I was on Zoloft for like a little while, and that really, really fucked my life up. Like who I was on Zoloft was not good, and like I lost like because of things that I did. Like I am no longer friends with someone who was my best friend for like 7 years because of how I was on Zoloft. And a Play No Contest is sort of about that. It's about how like despite whatever your intentions are, like it doesn't always work out. And like even in the verse, like I sort of blame it on like that, like taking like pills and stuff to try like medicine that was prescribed to try and get better.
Right.
And then Soft Tissue is sort of where Play No Contest is about like the results. Soft Tissue is about the pressure that I was like under by like family and friends and like people who like my partner at the time to get on medication and like try to get better. And it's also about like, you know, I don't know what it is. Someone told me it's because I'm a Virgo, but no matter what's going on in my life, I always just feel like no matter how shitty it is, like I have to be there for other people.
Okay.
And like I can just ignore my problems and try to take care of them as much as possible. And Soft Tissue is sort of about me struggling with that. And then Note for Jacoby is like a very literal title, and a lot of people thought that was like a love song, which is weird because Jacoby's like my child. Like I love him, but like it's about like a suicide note that I was writing that I was gonna leave for him that I changed into a song sort of last second, and I guess it worked out.
Glad you did that. Yeah. That's, all right, so we got a couple minutes left in it because that's the rundown of the EP, right?
Yeah.
Five song EP.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Cool. Heavy as heck. This is a conversation that you and I have had before, where you said you didn't want to just continue making music after a point. You're very specific. You said, I want to make this record that has this impact, this record that has this impact. This is our artsy record, and then we're done.
Yeah.
So like, run me through. Both of you give me your opinions, I guess, on hot take. I obviously have to do a hot take. Artists who get less good as their life becomes more stable. Less good. Their records are less well received or considered less classic because the topics they're writing about aren't my anxiety, like my drug addiction, like bad relationships. So like when they get stabilized and then they keep making music because it's their career, but people don't like their stuff as much.
Yeah, I mean it's all very like echo chambery too, because like you could look at like a band like even like Joyce Manor is like going through that right now. Sort of people don't like what is it, $1 Million to Kill Me? Is
Yeah, that's the current one. Yeah,
and then like Cody, even like people were very like on. But I think like part of it is like people that we hang out with and people that we like go to shows with and stuff don't like those records as much because they're not relating to those parts of it, but other people could relate to like their newer stuff.
Yeah, I think that's something that makes, as bands get older and get more like pop oriented, it's accessible to a larger crowd, and because of that, the people who were in the niche say, well, this isn't about me anymore, so I don't really relate to that. And like I was saying before, like Ward Book's more like pop centric acts. Like, what's your relationship to that?
Well, I think it is a very common phrase that's thrown out a lot. The whole idea of when people are going through struggles or they're more
the troubled artist.
Yeah, the troubled artist. You know, the misery breeds art. And for whatever reason, that does seem to be accurate in a lot of people's like careers. Maybe because I'm the older guy, but I always think of the reference of everyone loved. We've talked about so many fucking bands tonight. I keep slipping up mine. Are we allowed to say that on here? Are we allowed to say?
It's all right. You're all right.
Okay, good, because I'm gonna say it again. All the names are blurring together in the last 2 hours, but Aerosmith got sober in the late 80s, I believe. Okay. And a very common phrase for them is, oh, their music was so good before they all got sober.
Yeah.
But like in the 90s, didn't they drop those like that song for Armageddon?
They did.
That's a classic.
It is.
I don't like Aerosmith, but come on.
But that's also to same thing of the people that liked them in the niche, liked them before they blew up.
Yeah.
Oh, that's the sellout track type of thing. Yeah. That's what a lot of people
because you're saying that as somebody who wasn't living in the fan era.
No, that's true.
But like, Okay, so I mean that's
Yeah.
a sensible thing. Like we can be honest that like people do like material that comes from hardship. Your
Yeah.
record definitely being something in that vein. But like moving forward, is there any part of you that's worried about like losing fans if you get your shit together and all of a sudden find happiness and want to keep making music?
Sleepless is
I cursed, so I made it okay for you to do it.
Good.
Okay.
Sleepless is only gonna make like I think probably 3 LPs.
Okay.
And the reason for that is partially like it's like artistic. I want to have a trilogy. I
Mhm.
don't want to like I obviously want to play music forever, but like I don't want to keep like recording and like I would almost like I don't know what my plans are for like after the 3rd LP.
Mm-hmm.
So I can't say. I just know that like generally 3 albums is a band's best like lifespan.
Yeah. No, I get a band is an idea, and you don't want to just wring that idea totally
Mm-hmm.
out. I mean, you could always be in another band. You could
Yeah.
always take a hiatus, come back with something different. But
Right.
I see what you're saying.
For
Cool.
me, like I don't know, as far as like the direction we're going in, even it's like my life isn't getting any better. So like
Well, thank goodness for that, because we want more material.
it's definitely I actually was talking to someone about it last night that like our EP it's not like I mean when I say aggressive, like we're not an aggressive band, but like for me, like the music that's on it, like Soft Tissue, like Play No Contest, like or even like My Friend Ben Says Love's Not Real, where the aggression isn't so much in the speed but in like when we play that live, like I punch my guitar pretty much
Sure, I've
throughout the
seen you do
entire
this.
thing. Yeah. Like it's the aggression isn't necessarily going anywhere. It's just that like I don't want to keep making songs where I'm just like downstroking all the time on my guitar. And so it just depends. I mean, like, you know, obviously my mental health isn't going anywhere. So like I'm for sure still writing about like the things I'm going through even. I mean, I don't know. It's a lot.
Well, I'm sure we'll like make another one of these before you make it to LP3, so we'll just like check up
Mm-hmm.
periodically.
Mm-hmm.
But that's our time. So thanks for doing the podcast.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah. I'm excited for Let's Just Be Friends. It's gonna be out soon.
January, you said?
January 20th.
Yeah.
20th.
Dang. And then a big tour.
Like a little, I mean, we're doing like 10 dates.
Hey, that's a big tour for a lot of people.
Yeah, that's
Then
true.
a big tour, new merch. So cool.
Cassettes.
Cassettes, temporary tattoos.
Ooh. Good idea.
Yeah.
Those are expensive to make, but yeah, those are good.
No,
Anyhow.
actually,
We gotta cut it off. Enough capitalism.
All right, Tyler.